Hello everyone and welcome back to another video in the Wizard101 story guide series. Today we're going to be doing Dragonspire. I did Mushu last time, took a break for a few days, I've been doing some other stuff, and now I'm here to do Dragonspire. Now Dragonspire is really interesting. It's a mix of different histories seen in our history and just general kind of, you know, just in general it's a cool world. So, I'm going to do what I did last time, which is the exposition, and I'm going to start with the books and go from there. Now, these books, for me, are a little bit more confusing because for some reason, they're completely out of order, so I need to kind of find what order it goes in. So, I believe the first one is titled Ancient Days, the Founding of Dragonspire. Here were dragons. Dragonspire was a haven from its earliest days to the Scaled Ones. In those days, from its earliest days to the Scaled Ones. In those days, men and dragons were dire enemies, and the folk who lived here did so in constant fear. So basically, dragons ruled over Dragonspire. They were also kind of dicks, but you know, it's fine now. Let's see. Okay, yeah. The Age of the Kingdom of Dragonspire is the next tome. When the dragons ruled the skies and struck fear into the heart of men, the wise and powerful King Men met in secret with the Queen of Drakes, Gavarana and men joined together. The forces of men and drakes bonded together and overcame the dragons, thus ushered in the Age of the Kingdom of Dragonspire. So basically, nowadays, as you can see, there are drakes, and those drakes bounded together with the humans, beat the dragons, push them out, boom. Let me find what the next tome is. Alright, I believe the next tome is the founding of the Dragonspire Academy. All the knowledge of the kingdom was reserved for royalty, but this would not remain the case when Rydell the Conqueror inadvertently unleashed a magical plague upon his duchy. Duke Sebastian fought with the Lords of Dragonspire for knowledge of the cure. His bravery prompted the foundation of the Dragonspire Academy, a school for children throughout the kingdom. All who were qualified were welcome within the Dragonspire Academy. So that was the foundation of the Dragonspire Academy, which was obviously brought on by a need for it. The next tome is entitled The Great Council of Wizards, Warriors, and King. As more wizards and warriors graduated from the academy, their political power grew in Dragonspire. One of their number, Alderred, used his knowledge to unseat the king. His rule was without mercy, and he was despised by his subjects. The wizards and warriors of Dragonspire united against Alderred and overthrew him from his place of power. From that day forth, Dragonspire was jointly ruled by the Council of Wizards, Warriors, and King. That's kind of similar to the English, that's actually almost, like, not word for word, but it's like basically what happened in the English Civil War. So if you don't know, the English Civil War happened when Charles I misused his power blatantly throughout his entire rule, and he was eventually unseated from his throne, put to trial, and executed. And then Oliver Cromwell rose to power in a government, I believe, called, is it the Protectorate? I think, basically, I know it, he's titled Lord Protector Oliver Cromwell. Basically, his rule was very bad. He did not rule very well, got almost nothing done in like the 10-15 years he was ruling. He died eventually, and the government kind of fell apart, and then there was a restoration of a king, but the parliament was given much more power than it was before, and that was basically that. Okay, the Dragon and the Century War. The Kingdom of Dragonspire grew throughout the spiral as drakes provided... Oh, I think this was supposed to be a little bit... Okay, these were supposed to be before, I think, but I'll just read them now anyway. The Kingdom of Dragonspire grew throughout the spiral as drakes provided protection for realms both big and small. King Jungen died without an heir, an occurrence that sparked a war for the throne that lasted for 100 years. At its end, the war became known as the Century War. That's supposed to be, that's a direct connect to the 100 Years' War, which was France, England having a claim to the throne of France and them going after each other for a very long time. The next one is titled The Aftermath of the Century War. The Century War came to an abrupt end when Kaiser the Magnificent claimed the throne of Dragonspire and forced a peace upon the land. With the new era of peace, the battle wizards of Dragonspire turned to the creation of knowledge crystals. This heralded a period of many great advances in culture, science, and learning. And, okay, sorry, that's it. That is based on, from what I believe, to be Peter the Great in Russia. Peter the Great rose to power but like around a war with Sweden, and Russia was incredibly behind the rest of the Europeans. Many didn't even view them as a European country because they were so different and so culturally different. Technology, it was way behind. Basically, Peter had a fascination with the culture of Europe, so he took from many different cultures, the Prussian culture, Austrian culture, French culture, and kind of pushed Russia towards modernization for the time. And he did that fine, and Russia would not be Russia today without Peter the Great. So that is all the books that I have for that I have here. But I have some other things to talk about first, which is kind of what Dragonspire is based on. Now, Dragonspire could be based on many real places, but I think based on that history, it's based on England. But there are some hints of Russia in there, as I've said, and I do think Russia is a very fitting kind of description for this, specifically from the lens of a kind of capitalist, a kind of capitalist and democratic society. Now, the reason I say that is, for those of you that don't know, in 1919, the communists in Russia rose to power under Vladimir Lenin, following the Great War, and there was a civil war, obviously, that lasted until 1922, but eventually the Red Russians came on top, communists were in power, and that lasted until 1991. Now, the reason why I say this is kind of based on Russia from the view of a capitalist / Western idea is that it's kind of viewed as... there was a great calamity in Dragonspire, if you don't know. Basically, what happened is the dragon that is here, that Malistaire controls, showed up. The volcano kind of erupted, and Dragonspire is now a lava, desolate, disgusting. Like you can see over here, there's lava. This used to be water, now it is lava. The sky is dead. It used to be blue and nice. Basically, Dragonspire used to be a really good place. Now it is shit. From my perspective, that is supposed to be referencing how Russia, for the common people, definitely fucking sucked under the rule of the communists. Now, the Stalin was a very dictatorial person. He didn't even really do... He was more like a collectivist he was a like monarchist under the guise of a collectivism and stuff like that. But realistically, Russia wasn't even really that communist during that time. They were just kind of dicks, and you know, communism is not universal suppression. It's universal kind of the spreading of the wealth and the universal working class, which is not what Russia was at that point. So that's why I think it's based on that, kind of, is viewing the communist rising to power similar to the Great Calamity in Dragonspire, and that's that. So, I'm going to give you the story now of Dragonspire when we showed up here. I'm not into... I'm a little bit iffy on some places, but I'm going to try to wing it. So basically, we come to Dragonspire. We learn that this is where Malistaire is. Malistaire is being a dick yet again. Cyrus Drake, his brother, has basically told us, hey, I'm here to assist you in killing my brother because he's being a dick. So, that's what we do. We go to the Athenaeum, and we go to the library here. We learn from Milo's bookworm that Dragonspire is having some issues. Everyone is dead. It kind of sucks. He sends us to the tower archives because I forget exactly what it is, but we need to get crystals, I believe. I don't know if it's knowledge crystals, but we need to basically unlock the crystals that are on these towers and defeat Zarathax here and kind of talk to this great warrior of the past. We talk to him, everything is fine. We kind of learn that I believe that this is kind of where it ties in to the Plaza, the Plaza of Conquest, because we learn that we need to go to the giant ass crystal there to get a portal stone. Basically, the entirety of Dragonspire is getting portal stones because you want to get to Dragonspire Academy, because Dragonspire Academy is where we can learn to be a dragon rider and eventually get to where Malistaire is. So we come to the Plaza of Conquest. We need to kind of touch this giant crystal thing. Lazarus Starblade helps us. We learn the art of battle through Sandor Spearcaller, Mavra Flame Ring, Flame Wing. There's these crystal stands and bosses that we fight. Basically, we do some conquering, we do some killing, and we're good. And then we go to the Grand Chasm. The reason for this is that we need to find out where exactly the portal stone is being kept. And to do that, we go into the past, which I find to be one of the funnest parts of this because we can see Dragonspire before it was fucked. But we go into the past. We discover that the portal stone is protected by this one dude in the vaults. We find him. We beat him up. He's like, hey, friend, yes. And then, you know, you take the portal stone and you can move on to the necropolis. Once you're in the necropolis, I believe you need to go into the pyromancer's tomb. I don't remember why, but you need to beat them up. You do it, everything's fine. I believe from here, the Drake Hatchery is first. You do half of the Drake Hatchery. You reunite what's it called? You reunite a Drake with a dude. All is well. Cool. Now you need to go to the Crucible, I believe, and the reason for that is you need to learn how to, basically, this is the admittance to the Dragonspire Academy. Sorry, I didn't remember that until now. But basically, you're trying to be admitted into the Dragonspire Academy through the Crystal Guide here. That's why you learned some stuff in the Drake Hatchery. Now you're going to the Crucible to kind of learn from the warriors and wizards of Dragonspire. You meet this warrior lady here who thinks that you are useless because she is a warrior and she distrusts wizards, which we learned in the past before that warriors and wizards have had some distrust in the past. Actually, I think I missed one of the books that said that, but basically that's that. We battle all of the bosses here. We learn from the past. We beat Orin Grimmaster, and you know, that's pretty poggers. Now we need to get to the next portal stone because we have successfully, we need to be admitted by the dean and we need to get the portal stone. So to do that, we need to go to the labyrinth where the dean is being kept. We go through the entire thing, fighting a bunch of bosses. Eventually, we get to the dean. We fight the dean because he's a dick. And he's like, okay, fine, you can go to Dragonspire Academy, and all is well. Now we're admitted to Dragonspire Academy. Now we're technically dual enrolled. We're a wizard of Wizard City and a wizard of Dragonspire Academy. So that's pretty cool. So we come here. We talk to Ashley, who is the only tree that is remaining here from the different schools. There used to be all of them, but now there is only one, Ashley, who basically says you need the Dragon Rider staff. So you go and do that. You collect all the pieces scattered throughout the spiral. There used to be 10, now there is 4. You build the staff. Cool. Now you can use it in the future. You go to the Crystal Grove. I forget exactly what. Oh no, because you're still crafting the staff because you need like the jewel and stuff. So you go to the Crystal Grove for the jewel, I believe. You get the jewel crafter. Boom. The forum is when after the Crystal Grove, I believe, you've crafted the Dragon Rider staff. Now you need to go to the forum to learn how to ride a drake and how to raise a drake, which you can do pretty easily. The forum is an easy street. Then you need to go back to the Drake Hatchery because you actually need to find a drake for yourself. You do that, everything is well, everything is fine. You beat up the dude there, you get an egg, you hatch a drake. Cool. Now you are ready to fight Malistaire motherfucking Drake. So, we go to the Dragon's Roost, the Great Spire. We know it's our climactic battle. We can see that everything looks absolutely sick. There's lava everywhere. It's kind of just, you know, it just exists. And from there, we finally get to Malistaire. We beat him up. We kill him. And all is well. We eventually sway him to our side that he should learn to let go of his hatred for everyone, the world, basically, because of Sylvia's death. Sylvia, yeah, basically, I think she talks to him and says, "Hey, Malistaire, stop being a dick." He says, "Okay." We all go on our way. Malistaire is dead. No more. Potentially. So, that's basically the plot of Dragonspire. If you have anything to add, please let me know. Dragonspire is kind of where some of the plot kind of leaves my head. I definitely know more about Celestia and Celestia, Zafaria, Avalon. I know a lot more about them than I do Dragonspire. For some reason, Dragonspire's story is like the worst in my head out of potentially any of them. So, that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed, please drop a like, hit the sub button, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day.